I am here. This is X35 Earthwalker, the one true Earthwalker, the legendary Eternal Soldier himself, and welcome back to another awesome podcast episode. And today, we in the studio. Today, we're going to be talking about PlayStation. And you are witnessing the death of PlayStation. I've already declared them dead, and you'll see why very easily. You know how you got a lot of fools and Xbox tax morons who say Xbox is dead even when they were thriving and doing better than absolutely everybody else. Apparently Xbox is dead even when they released more first party titles than Nintendo and PlayStation combined last year, the year before, and had the biggest game out of all three of them even in 2023. It's absolutely crazy. But PlayStation is dead, but you're witnessing its death. And this is you can say it's the part 2 to the one where I talked about as the PlayStation series of L's. They were taking a series of L. I had a podcast episode about that, and I listed so many things that was going wrong PlayStation that the biased gaming media outlets were not talking about. Even some Xbox guys did not touch. None of them had the full-on depth of the stuff that I had in there. And of course, the PlayStation fanboys are pretending that stuff does not exist. But let's talk about it. I don't want to be as long as possible because I might turn this into a YouTube video as well. So, maybe. I'm not going to do much editing on it. It's just going to be a straight up video. I mean, hey, if people are willing to watch crap on YouTube, then they're willing to watch something good like my stuff. So, we'll see who's got wisdom. So we're witnessing the death of PlayStation. I had to note this stuff down because I'm not going to remember all of it. Too many times I've done a podcast episode, and after I've logged off, all that kind of stuff, then a minute later, I'm like, oh yeah, why didn't I say that? This is a lot of information. So we got to get this stuff down. So first things first, let's just start with the first thing, because when it comes to gaming platforms and consoles and stuff like that, the number one thing, even more important than the specs of the console itself, and maybe even more so than its price, is going to be, of course, the games. People have said it before. I've said this too. PlayStation has no games. They have no games. And the sad part is PlayStation actually would have a decent number of games, still vastly inferior to what Xbox has, but will have a decent number of games. It's just that the PlayStation fans just don't be supporting those games. No. Think about it. Let's go over them. For example, Forspoken, Foam Stars, Brawl All-Stars, Infinity Nikki, Quantum Error. Now let's all agree, Quantum Error was trash, so nobody should be supporting that. But then again, some of them fanboys so desperate they went to support its next game. What was it called? Cold Purple. Darn it, what was it called again? Cold Violet. That's it. Cold Violet. I can remember the rainbow. Cold Violet. So but then it's they didn't support that. But like I said, Foam Stars, it was actually a great game. I'm not going to hold nobody. Foam Stars was actually a great game, but the PlayStation guys, they did not support it. They would say Xbox guys don't buy games, even though we bought Helldivers 2 better than PlayStation guys, even though they had it longer within the same time frame, but whatever, right? We buy our games. We support our games, stuff like that. But no, they let Foam Stars fall by the wayside. Brawl All-Stars, they didn't support that stuff either. Infinity Nikki, I didn't see nobody in PlayStation hyping or talking about that game. And all the PlayStation fanboys of the gaming channels, MBG, Reforge, stuff like that. I didn't see them doing no 2-hour live streams of Infinity Nikki, exploring, doing the platforming, and getting these cool outfits. None of them were doing any of that. But whenever Xbox put out one of their first party games, I live streamed, made videos, and beat Ninja Gaiden 4. I live streamed videos and I beat the Outer Worlds 2, Avowed, South of Midnight, Doom the Dark Ages, and goes on, Tower Bond, all of that. So don't say nothing about me. Let's talk about y'all. Y'all did not support your game. Forspoken, y'all just let the internet trash that game, and that game got improvements. It got this big DLC which actually added some awesome stuff to it and everything, but no, y'all let that go down, and of course the racists were involved, but all that stuff. So they would have had more games, but they didn't support the games like this for real. So they let those games go by the wayside. I mean, sucker, you want to talk about not supporting games? What about Astro Bot? Their so-called rigged game of the year. Some people call it the Mario clone. Astro Bot has literally a 2.2 sales to console ratio. So how they claim 92 million consoles shipped, not sold, shipped, right? So let's say they got 92 million consoles or however amounts, they say. when you like do the division and then do the multiplication, only 2.2% of that console install base actually bought like Astro Bot. Like, it's bad. It's bad. Only 2.2% bought it. So it's like, what's the point of having 92 million consoles when only 2.2% is going to buy not just some random bummy game, right? And Astro Bot is an excellent game. It is an excellent game, right? So as I say, that's again another difference with me. PlayStation scum and fanboys will lie and say Xbox has no good games and will never give props to any of the good games, unless it's also coming to PlayStation, right? I'm real because I'm a gamer first. I'm a true gamer. If a game is good, regardless of the platform, I will say it's good. You know, Super Mario Odyssey, excellent, right? Last of Us 2, fantastic, right? Those games are great. I'll give props what it is. Foam Stars is great. I'll do it. And so like I said, Astro Bot is an excellent game, but that's their game of the year. This isn't Cold Violet. This isn't Quantum Error. This is Astro Bot, and that's their only true exclusive game, really, right now. Really, when you think about it, right? And only 2.2% of them bought it. Game of the year, hyped up by Jeff Keighley, 2.2%. And you wonder why PlayStation ain't doing so well right now. You wonder why PlayStation had to put their things on PC. Either PlayStation guys are broke or they're just not supporting for real. It's like, what do you want? I mean, Ghost of Yotei didn't do as well either. It didn't do as well as it should. For the big platform that PlayStation is, I remember PlayStation has the Pioneer bonus. It was there before Xbox. So it had the biggest share of the players long before Xbox showed up, and will always have the majority over Xbox in that regards, right? For big PlayStation, big Sony, Ghost of Yotei was supposed to do way better than that. It didn't do as well as it should. Spider-Man 2, by that definition, also flopped. Like, Spider-Man 2, the amount it makes, and you can see the reports, the average like AAA game now, something being made costing like $300 million and stuff like that. When sales of Spider-Bug 2 got, I call it Spider-Bug 2 because it was a buggy piece of crap when it launched, dear gosh, and not just on PC, other places too, right? And it didn't do as well. Remember, they're not going to make no crazy profit from Spider-Bug because, remember, Sony does not own Spider-Man. Spider-Man is Marvel. And when you got Marvel, you're dealing with Disney. So you got to give them their cut. So I don't know how much Sony made from that. And then you got their biggest flop of all the gaming history, worse than Superman 64, worse than E.T. and Indiana Jones and Atari. You got Concord. Concord, boy. Just the cost of Concord alone was like $400 million. Then there's like the Firewalk Studio purchasing. Then there was like the brands and the specialized merch they was making for Concord because that was their answer to Overwatch. That was supposed to be the big thing that they was gonna have built into. They had animations, they had motion capture, they had things lined up for Concord. They really believed in this game. They had plans for it 5 years down the line. All that is flushed down the toilet. So $400 million is the minimum. You don't understand when it comes to game development and marketing costs and stuff like that. It's $400 million is the minimum. It's above that easily. So much money lost. And their big answer, but they believed it and invested it, and they really did put a lot into that game. I'm telling you, you guys don't know the half of what they had planned for that. All that wasted, but of course that's going to hit PlayStation real hard, right? And then another L on top of all these things that are going on. So they got the biggest L in all of gaming, by the way. So PlayStation owns the biggest L. Not Nintendo, not PC, not Xbox. It's PlayStation. The other big L they get is they can't get a successful live service game going. They can't. They have failed every attempt so far. So I can remember they had 13 or 12 live service games lined up, and they canceled 10 of them hoes. You know, money goes into starting and building and working on each of these. You're keeping the lights on in these studios so they can get this stuff done. And you straight up cancel 10 of them. Do you know how much that must cost them? And then we now seen the 12th one, which is, I think it was Horizon Dawn Hunters Gathering or something like that. I forgot the name. That was coming in with that more animated, cartoony, graphic style, which I don't have a problem with. Gamers, I already talked about how modern gamers are ruining everything. They got a problem with anything. If it looks cartoony, it's trash. But if it's ultra realistic, it's trash. If it's AAA, it's trash. But if everything's indie, it's trash. Like, they complain about everything. It doesn't matter. But they cancel 10 of those games. Now, you might say Marathon. Marathon is still technically in the honeymoon phase, and even this honeymoon phase doesn't look as good. Remember how I said that PlayStation guys don't support their games? When it comes to Marathon, you check out their sales details and the breakdown. It's not PlayStation guys that's carrying the game. Same with Helldivers 2. It's not PlayStation that's carrying the game. It's like, okay, figure the numbers like this. If Marathon sold like 1.4 million copies, for example, right? Remember, Crimson Desert passed 3 million, but whatever. Like, 1.4 million. Think of it like this. 900,000 of that 1.4 million is PC. And then like, let's say 300,000 is, let's say PlayStation. And then like 200,000 is like Xbox. So PlayStation is above Xbox by a bit when it's their game, Bungie. And then PC is just swallowing up Xbox and PlayStation combined. I thought you PlayStation bums buy games. Why is it PC on their PC gooning machines? Why are they the ones out buying y'all? Remember, 92 million console sales. Shipped sales. So the maximum potential is they can sell 92 million copies on PlayStation. Right? And of course, you're never going to get that max number. It's like how, you got like 2 million subscribers on YouTube. You're not going to have 2 million people watching your video every single time. Of course, there's outsiders, the algorithm and stuff like that. But you got people who, let's say, got 1 million, maybe 163,000 checks out this video. And this video is 200,000. It's never the max, but you have a higher max, capacity, is potential. It's just nowhere near enough. Those numbers are pathetic. And don't say enough about Xbox. Marathon's not our game. We don't even have to support it if we don't want to. People on Xbox who bought it because of people who were really interested in it, or maybe believed in Bungie. There's reasons for it. But the fact that they can't even get a good live service game has been hoeing them. They have spent multi-millions trying to get one. And I've already talked about the importance of live service games. Pretty much almost every developer needs one in a way. Almost. Single player games don't make as much money. They don't. A lot of times nowadays we're seeing it don't make enough. They're not even making profits in some regards. Single player games is not where it's at. They can say all they want. We want single player games with good stories. First of all, when they do come, y'all don't support them. You find a reason to boycott and hate them too. But live service games makes all the money. Xbox is the one with the live service game. Xbox got like multiple successful live service games. Whether they built it up or bought them, doesn't matter. They own it. And it just makes them millions every month. Remember, Diablo 4 in 1 year made over $1 billion. While PlayStation is losing 400 million minimum on Concord. And then the millions are the canceled live service games. You see the difference? Of course you want your own successful live service game. They're trying to come again, but that's another L for PlayStation as well. It's just not working. And then they also, let's talk about that. Let's move on. They haven't had a universally good state of play in forever. The last state of play they had, I gave it the grade of good. A 6 out of 10, and I've explained my reasons why, is in comparison to the bad state of plays they've had before. Like, that state of play was their best one yet. But even so, there was multiple problems with that state of play. That's why it got a 6 for me. Well, most people were saying 4, 3, some people were saying 2, and some were trolling saying 0 and 1. It's not a 0 and 1. But like, that's bad. So I was the generous guy there. I was the nice guy. I figure besides like the PlayStation fanboys who obviously wank off everything PlayStation, said it was a 10 out of 10 hook. Like, frick no, ain't no 10 out of 10, right? I was the highest score giver for them, 6. Everyone else was below. So again, I'm being generous, PlayStation bums, so don't say nothing to me. I was actually being fair. People said it was absolute garbage. People said it was dog SH. I think that's false, but that's what they were saying. So they don't have a universally, as in agreed by the people, it was a good state of play, right? Xboxes have universally good showcases, good gaming showcases, good developer directs, partner previews, like the one that just passed. Overall, the majority of people are saying excellent or great or something for me. You know what I mean? That's universally good. PlayStation hasn't had a universally good state of play in a freaking long time. And worse than that, when was the last time they had a gaming showcase? When was the last time PlayStation actually had a gaming showcase? Like how Xbox has gaming showcases every year, but yeah, Xbox is dead, but PlayStation is alive and well. Make that make sense, but whatever. People are retarded. When's the last time they did a gaming showcase? 19 Dickety 2. That's when they did it. When they first revealed Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2, Electro Strikes Back. Like, sucker, y'all sounded like Abraham Simpson from The Simpsons. When did they last do a game showcase? That's a freaking L. But PlayStation's fine according to these idiots. No, it's not. Sucker, it's dead. It's dead. Oh my goodness. And then more L's. PlayStation, the PS5 didn't get hard locked, some sort of like jailbreaking hack, and because it's done to like the hardware itself, it can't be fixed. It's not a software issue, so they couldn't even like do a software patch and fix it. No, they have to now build a whole new set of PlayStation 5s and do some things differently so they can correct it. And it's like, if it's jailbreaked, hard locked, that's it. That is a problem. I mean, that is a problem. That's huge. That was a huge problem. But again, the gaming media outlet sweeps it under the rug. If it was Xbox, they would have been talking about it for 3 weeks. They would have stayed on Xbox's head top until a solution came out. And even then, they'd be like, but the damage is done, lol. Like, but PlayStation, oh yeah, there's a little bit of a hardware issue. But yeah. Anyway, God of War, Kratos, turns out he's 32 years old. Like, they skipped that stuff. But I haven't forgotten about it. That's a big blow to Sony. Again, that's multi-millions wasted. Making these consoles is not freaking cheap. Anywho, so that's another problem you gotta think about. Then they had like multiple server issues. People say Xbox has a server issue. Yeah, they had a few, but not as much as PlayStation. PlayStation had multiple server issues. So even like, what, are they getting cheap on the server bills? I don't know. The hole in that wall is getting bigger, and it's not good. Obviously, technical things happen. Like when out on the day of the Xbox partner preview, my computer was giving me trouble. It was perfectly fine earlier in the day, and then when it came to that, oh, now it's time to have a tech issue. Like, machines just be hoeing you. Like, that's just machines. They're not perfect. Man is not perfect. We could have been if we all followed God's rules, but people just have to frick it up, don't they? But and then they had a price hike to the PlayStation Plus, and they didn't add no extra value to it. It was just, we're raising our prices to keep our value, to keep the high quality value for you going. I hope you guys accept that. Matter of fact, y'all will. You'll accept that. Deal with it. But, they didn't add nothing. They didn't add no new tier list. They didn't add no new benefit. They didn't introduce Sony reward point system. Nothing like that. But when Xbox raised the price of their Game Pass, all the broke people got mad. They could have just gone to premium. That's like premium and essential does not exist, by the way, but whatever. And they increased the price. They added some bunch of new stuff that goes into Ultimate. They had the Ubisoft Plus, the Ubisoft Classic. They had the Fortnite crew thing, which is great for the millions of Fortnite players. They love it. They'll get a kick out of that, right? They added like what's going to increase in points that you can get for the Microsoft reward point systems. Like, they added stuff to go with it, and they improved the cloud gaming too. So it's like, at least you can say they added stuff for the price increase. But then with PlayStation, they just raised PlayStation Plus and added nothing to go with it. But everyone wants to talk about Xbox's Game Pass price increase. The bots attacked, the trolls attacked. I reported on that. I talked about that. You know what I'm saying? So I know about that. And people want to harass us and say, Xbox, look at you. You don't care about the consumers, but with PlayStation, it's quiet. It's like, can you guys stop attacking Xbox? Everything goes up in this world. Your energy bills, broadband, sucker groceries, food, stuff like that. Travel, train prices gone up. Everything is allowed to go up but Xbox. Sucker, it's gonna go up. It's gonna go up, and it sucks, but it's gonna go up. Sucker, chicken and chips has gone up. I told you about this many times. I remember when it was £1.60. Sucker, it's £3.40 now. But move on. Either get your wallet up or whatever, man. That's what I'm saying. It is what it is. But sorry, but they had a price hike. But we'll get back to price hikes. But believe me, we know about price hikes happening with them. What you call it? And Helldivers 2 and Marathon are getting more support from PC guys than PlayStation. We covered on that a bit before, but I want to emphasize this because they were the only two you can say that was successful. Coming from the whole PlayStation side of it. Of course, they did support with Arrowhead. They don't own Arrowhead. It's kind of a relationship, but they're like the supporters and the backers for like Arrowhead and stuff like that. And Marathon, of course, they do own that because they own Bungie. The two ones that they actually have as actually successful to some extent. Like Marathon's still in the honeymoon phase. But Helldivers 2 was easily overall successful because it was like the only thing PlayStation had at the time, so everybody swarmed to it because there was a barren desert. They finally heard water's over there, and it's called Helldivers 2, so they ran there. So it's just overly supported by PC. It's not supported by PlayStation. That's an L. That is an L in of itself. Like, especially when you accuse others of not buying their games. Speaking of that, there's even not just more support, there's more excitement for Xbox's games on PlayStation than PlayStation's games for PlayStation. I saw more hype from PlayStation guys, even in like comment sections like Instagram and stuff, for Fable and Forza Horizon 6, Forza Horizon 5, and these games, than I'm seeing for their own games. Like, that's gotta make you feel bad. Our fans are not excited about games. I mean, Sucker, finally, they're getting a game that they call trash, garbage, worst game ever. And I think they don't deserve it. I don't think it should ever be on PlayStation. Starfield, the game of the generation. I love that game. Got over 350 hours in it, and I wanted to return to it too, especially with the big new update, right? And what happened now? Oh, PlayStation guys are singing a different tune now. They're excited for Starfield. They opened up their wallets. They didn't do it for Marathon in the PlayStation game, but they opened up their wallets. And it was like, what? #1 most pre-ordered and stuff like game on PlayStation. Again, this happened before other games. When Indiana Jones going over, and you know, games that's coming from Xbox, Sucker, they were being pre-ordered. Xbox games like Fallout was doing well. Of course, Minecraft. Like, we've seen the charts. They've been up before. You can look at it to see that they had more Xbox games in their top 15 than PlayStation games in their top 15. And if you're Sony, you're the head of PlayStation, all that kind of stuff, and you look at that numbers, you just gotta take a deep sigh and be like, what the frick? Yeah, Xbox has clearly got the better games. What's happening with Gran Turismo? Nothing really. But hey, 5-year-old Forza Horizon 5, Xbox makes like approximately 300 million plus off of that 5-year-old game. That's like the Forza Horizon 6, they need to make them wait. Let them at least wait 1 year, because they'll buy it. Gran Turismo is clearly not hitting that crack for them. Taking a sip. Take a sip. If you know that reference, let me know. Only the real ones would really know about that one. It's like, yeah, you're being like, Xbox has conquered their market. Xbox has taken over PlayStation's market. I mean, some people say, well, they made that joke with PlayStation, they said, this is an Xbox. I mean, at this point, it is. Well, your most pre-ordered and best bustling game on PlayStation is Xbox game, and out of all of them, Starfield, which was an Xbox exclusive, woo, you've lost. Xbox dropped a virus in PlayStation and said, it's ours now. That is such an L. They're getting whooped by that smaller, air quotes, smaller competition. By a dead platform, by the way. A dead platform takes over. Yeah, when a dead army takes over your military base, yeah, they're dead. And right now, more L's. PlayStation doesn't even have any exclusives anymore. Remember, the last true exclusive they really seem to have seems to be Astro Bot. Outside of that, everything they got is on PC. And we've already explained it, so don't bring up no Xbox. Xbox and PC are on the same side. Right? They're on the same side. PC, Windows, what's that? Microsoft. Xbox, what's that? Microsoft. It's the same wallet. They've got the same dad. PC is the, the sister. Xbox is the brother. They're on the same side. So it makes sense. And PC and Xbox is part of that ecosystem. We even saw that with the new SDK, the unified GDK that was announced at the GDC event, and they talk about the console, the heaters and stuff like that. They're unified. It's part of the ecosystem. It makes sense. What's on Xbox is gonna be on PC, and what's on PC, they're slowly bringing more and more and like redoing it for Xbox. Of course, maybe they might go to do a few exclusives where it's not on PC, it's just on Xbox. They might. You gotta try things out. You got to try things out, right? But they're on the same side. While PlayStation is Sony and Microsoft are not friends. Sony's being a dick to Microsoft, and Microsoft is using Sony. Oh, they got pretty big install base. Let's put some games on there. Let's put over Indiana Jones. You know, let's put on Pentiment. Let's put on Hi-Fi Rush. let's put on Sea of Thieves, Grounded, and then they made some money. They're just using PlayStation. It's just another tool to make money. So they haven't got a good relationship here. They haven't got one. So where's PlayStation exclusive? Because they say, oh, Xbox ain't got no exclusive. No, it's PlayStation who ain't got no exclusive. I already done a podcast episode and I've written about it. And I went over like the 20 plus exclusives that Xbox has. Now the number has dropped down by 2. Now the Starfield's going over, I got to deduct to number 1. So I think it's 18 exclusives that Xbox has now. That's still more than PlayStation. What's PlayStation got? All their ghosts. Ghosts of Tsushima, Ghosts of Yote, Ghost of Himalayan, Ghost of Kilimanjaro. They're all going to PC, bro. The Ghost of Your Mama, they're going to PC. So, times, whatever, they're going. They ain't got no exclusives. And that's a discussion that they're having in the higher ups right now. PlayStation is also releasing like one first party game every year. Like, that seems to be their pattern now. You don't buy a PlayStation 5 Pro or PlayStation 5 to play one first party game a year and then just survive the rest on third party games, including from Xbox. You don't buy a PlayStation 5 for that. I wouldn't buy an Xbox Series X for that. Oh, they only release one first party game and the rest is all PlayStation games and third party from Capcom and Square Enix and all that kind of stuff. Frick no. No. If that's the case, then there's no reason to get an Xbox. So, y'all want to like cap for PlayStation? Yeah, they'll release one first party game and then they'll have like one remaster to go with it. You know, like the main, you got like the main dish is this jerk chicken, and as a side you have some rice or salad or couscous or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Potato salad, like the side. Your side is the remaster / remake. Your main is your one first party game, so Ghost of Yote, and then that's it. Wow, you're telling me that's another L? That's another big fail from PlayStation. That's a sign that they're dying. They're only pumping out one game. And remember, Xbox had like 13 first-party games last year. Plus like 2 hardware. The VR headset and the Xbox handheld. But Xbox is dead and PlayStation is alive and well. Okay. Get the frick out of here. I've been feeling so bad with PlayStation. Another L incoming. They're reduced to money hatting games. We know they money hatted freaking Monkey Man, Black Myth Wukong, which I still to this day am not supporting. They lied and tried to pin it on the Xbox Series S, which was doing perfectly fine, right? We know they money hatted that. Hey, here's some money, man. Just don't put it on Xbox. I got you, fam, right? And then they money hatted Project Eve. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean Project Eve. I meant Stellar Blade. Because remember, when it was called Project Eve, we saw the trailers. It's coming on Xbox, PlayStation, this and that, right? And then when it became Stellar Blade, Xbox is now gone. Only on PlayStation. So they got reduced to money hat again. And then they tried to money hat again. Crimson Desert. But Pearl Abyss said, "We don't want your business." They said no. They hit him with that Michael Jordan. No. Like, waving their hand. No. That's what they did. So they tried to scoop freaking Crimson Desert. Consumer-friendly practices. Right? Sucker, they tried to scoop Starfield. That's what Phil Spencer said. Frick it, we're buying Bethesda. He slapped $8 billion on the table. Bam! Buy it! And that was a very good move. ZeniMax with Bethesda. Whoo, that's a loaded. Doom, Wolfenstein, Skyrim, Starfield, Elder Scrolls, Oblivion, Fallout. And then the other stuff they got as well. Dishonored and stuff like that. Redfall. Yo. Anywho, so yeah, they reduced the money hand. That's how desperate there are. I mean, even their games are no longer winning awards anymore. Even at rigged gaming shows like Jeff Keighley's PlayStation Awards show. What did they call Spider-Bug 2? 007? It failed 7 times, 1-0. They call Spider-Bug 2 007. Not First Light. Ooh, I got the bars. Not First Light, but 007. And weren't they at the most recent Jeff Keighley rigged show? They were like 0-19. They had like 90 nominations for their games or whatever. And they won nothing across the board. Nothing across the board. It's like Xbox games got something in that rigged show as well. Could be like South of Midnight and stuff like that. And they hold South of Midnight. They really did. Again, it's rigged, so we expect that. But PlayStation got nothing. Wasn't it like 0-19? Their games just don't even win awards anymore. Because people, one of the arguments you always would hear was, yeah, well, PlayStation has award-winning games. Xbox ain't got none. I mean, Xbox has award-winning games. Starfield is Game of the Year, right? Overwatch won a Game of the Year as well. Doom the Dark Ages has been winning awards. South of Midnight got a couple more awards. Avowed even got an award. So, nice try. Oh gosh. So as you can see, this is like a lot of L's, and I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done. We still have to see if Marathon makes it. If Marathon makes it, then they finally got one, I guess you could say, successful live service game. I think Marathon's great. I dare say maybe excellent. Yeah, I think Marathon's excellent, but let's see if it survives, if it does it. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to see games fail, but they've been chanting and cheering for Xbox's death ever since Xbox has pulled up, so I don't care if their stuff dies. I really just don't care, but we'll have to see about that. So because of all these things that's been happening, some investors have pulled out from Sony. And remember, as a company, especially like that, you do not want to upset your investors. Your investors are technically more important than your customers. If the investors pull out, you could end up losing millions to billions. And they've had a few pull out, which is already putting pressure on PlayStation and the board. Right? And then it gets even worse. Let's take a look at the closed studios that PlayStation has. Now, I know we can talk about this generation. So big studios, that's what's called big studios, 2012. We're not really going to count that because that's like the last gen. If we talk about this generation, like PlayStation 5, because remember, this generation, PlayStation has been gosh awful. This generation. While Xbox has been thriving. Right? You got that Japan studio, which was in 2021. You got Zipper Interactive, 2021. What's it called? Pixel Opus or whatever it's called? 2023. Firewall Studios, Concord, 2024. The London Studios, I remember this, 2024. Neon Koi, 2026. Blue Point, 2026. Ballistic Moon, 2026. And then the most recent one was Dark Outlaw Games, or Outlaw Games, or whatever they're called, 2026. So like, what, in 1 year, they shut down, was it 4 studios? Neon Koi is 2026, right? Correct me if Neon Koi was 2025 or 2026. I think it's 2026. Can't bother to look into this. I don't care about PlayStation that much. Right. But that's like 4 studios closed. Because it was in Blue Point, who did very well, by the way. And wasn't Ballistic Moon the one who did the Until Dawn remaster or remake or whatever they want to call it? That's like 4 studios in 1 year. And sucker, we're not even 1/3 in. We're still in the first quarter of 2026, and they got 4 studios closed? Where's all the vid? Where's the ugly retard, the act man, to say, oh, the ever failing death of PlayStation? Where's his videos of that? Where are they, act man? Where are they, Angry Joe? Dante? Moist Critical, he's another freaking idiot too. The Silver Asman? Where are these morons? Where are their videos talking about the death of PlayStation? We know, because like I said, I've seen some stuff, spoken to some people. I know a guy got cut off from PlayStation because he reported on one of their L's. He reported on one of their L's in a video, and he came out and talked about it. Dude was like, man, I've been paid, basically paid, which we all knew. These guys are getting paid. Right? And the moment he said one negative thing, he gets cut off, and he's like standing on business like, I don't regret it. I mean, he low-key, he kind of does, but he got to stay tough for the internet. That's what he's doing. But yeah, PlayStation said, okay, no more money. You want to talk about one of the things we did wrong? All right, you're cut off, young man. You're cut off. You walk out that door, young lady, you're cut off. She walks through the door. I'm going to the prom. Like, boy, Sony literally snatched the wallet away and said, bitch. That's why they're not talking about like this for real. I knew Angry Joe was a complete money whore for PlayStation, bro. The moment he did that Spider-Bug 2 review, you can see his tone change. He was nowhere near angry. He was calm Joe. He wasn't angry Joe. And he listed all the negatives in that game and still gave it an 8 out of 10. Get the frick out of here. I said, I knew it. Y'all listen to Angry Joe, y'all idiots. I got nothing to say to y'all. But yeah, look at the studios that they've closed. And 4 in this year already. They're dead. Get those videos out, you lying cocks. They won't do it. But let this be Xbox. They be dancing on that content right now. Like, Xbox is not allowed to have an L. If they have an L, they are just going to get dragged. Like you're getting jumped by 6 girls in a Waffle House. But when PlayStation gets an L, oh, there's excuses. Or it's just we're not going to talk about it. Let's talk about something else. All of a sudden, we're interested in the USA-Iran war now. Oh, no, I thought you was a gaming channel. No. But we got to talk about real life. Lives are at stake. Oh, whatever. And you want more L's for PlayStation? I got them. I'll keep them coming. You thought it was bad enough already. It's going to get worse. They are also out of the big 3. They are last place as a gaming publisher. Yeah, that report came out. And this ranking was based on, like, I think, average Metacritic score of their games that they've published. So it's like average Metacritic score. Now, I disagree with this list overall, because I believe number 5 should be number 1, just by the sheer number of great games they put out, like, again, like last year. But basically, Capcom was number 4 in this list. Nintendo was number 12th place. Xbox was number 5, 5th place. And PlayStation was number 21. PlayStation didn't even make the top 20. Nintendo made the top 20. Xbox is in the top 10. And that's going by average Metacritic score. So you can't argue with the numbers. But that's just Metacritic score. And you really, again, things like the Xbox tax exist. Like, we've seen some unfair reviews, like how they treated Helldivers 2 and stuff like that compared to Helldivers 1 and everything. So I don't trust this stuff. But yeah, Square Enix is number 1. You know, and good on them. But yeah, PlayStation is last place. They're number 21. Nintendo is number 12. Xbox is number 5. But people want to say Xbox is last place, the console's not selling, they've got bad games. Well, in terms of Metacritic score, and that means review scores, and Xbox has the best games. I mean, by that Metacritic thing, it'll say Square Enix has the best games. Their Final Fantasies and Visions of Mana is amazing. Go play that. But out of the big 3, if we're talking about the big 3, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox has got the best games confirmed by stats. So you can't argue with the numbers. You can argue with the validity of the numbers. Again, the Xbox tax, so our scores are lower because of that. The biased gaming media outlets. But yeah, PlayStation 21, Xbox 5, Nintendo 12. So Xbox is the best game publisher of the big 3, and PlayStation is dead last. Talk about a sinking ship. And speaking of Square Enix, who's number 1, by the way, so you can't say Square Enix is dumb, they don't know what they're doing, they suck, nobody cares about their game. They're number 1, by the way, according to that list. Square Enix are the same guys that said that exclusivity with PlayStation doesn't work. And they say, oh, we're gonna bail. They bailed and said, hey, Xbox guys, we're sorry, man. We'll put our games back on your platform. Hey, and here's a discount, right? Thank you, Square Enix. I appreciate that, man. Y'all changed your ways. I'm glad y'all are back. And Xbox is now the home of Final Fantasy. I've already proved this. Every mainstream Final Fantasy title, that it can be done offline, of course. So you got one that's online only, that's not be done anymore, so that's pulled. No one can ever play it. They're all available on Xbox. Even Final Fantasy 16. Ooh, what about the Rebirth? Sorry, let's not do this. Let's not do this. And they said straight up, yeah, we're just not doing this with PlayStation more. It's not profitable. It does not work. So PlayStation guys don't buy games. If they were making bank, they never would have left the exclusivity, you say, agreement they got going on with PlayStation. It's not fruitful with PlayStation. So Square Enix even saw the sinking ship and said, we're jumping ship. So, yeah, mention that. And it's not just Square Enix. There's a bunch of other games that rejected or straight up just skipped PlayStation. For example, Godslayer was supposed to be like PC and PlayStation, but it said, nah, we'll also put it on Xbox. So, PlayStation alone just can't do it. Replaced is completely skipping PlayStation, so it's Xbox exclusive for third party in that regard. Super Bowl skipped PlayStation. That's an Xbox. Make a Break, they for the longest time were not on PlayStation. They were only on Xbox and PC. So again, these are example of games that did skip PlayStation. But people that lie and say developers are skipping Xbox. That is not true. Power World, for the longest time, they did skip a PlayStation and they were with Xbox. And I warned Power World. I told them. I said, don't go to PlayStation. I said, if you do this, things are just going to stagnate or go down from there. I said, don't do it. They listened to idiots on their team like Bucky. And they put it on PlayStation. Guess what? All momentum for Power World just died. The moment they announced Power World for PlayStation, their momentum just died. Xbox guys are like, okay, whatever, it's just another third-party game now. And their support of it just, dropped. And they used to, because remember, Power World used to be open with the numbers. 15 million players passed. Thank you, guys. 25 million players passed. And they even did a breakdown. 15 million was PC, 10 million was Xbox. They go to PlayStation now, and they never announce numbers ever again. What, they got nothing to brag about no more? What, PlayStation guys just don't play it? Now you've lost your prestige as an exclusive game. You're just another third-party game, so people just don't really care as much. And that's it. The only time people learned to talk about Power World was either A, they put out one of those awesome animations that they make, or B, they it's not that Nintendo lawsuit thing. Outside that, who talked about Power World? Like, I'm serious. When I went to PlayStation, I knew they weren't going to play that game. Where are the PlayStation live streamers? Where are the PlayStation talk? The only thing the PlayStation fanboys did was boast about, it's not exclusive for Xbox anymore, and then that's it. They moved on. They went back to Call of Duty. So, Animo, y'all being exclusive with Xbox and PC, and Animo is looking even better than Power World and Pokemon. Animo, think carefully about it. Are you sure you want to be with PlayStation? You don't need them. I'm so excited for Animo. Bravely Default skipped PlayStation, but it's on Xbox. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 1 Master Crafted Edition, it skipped PlayStation. It's on Xbox. Warhammer 40,000 Dark Tide, it skipped PlayStation, but it's on Xbox. Shift Up talking about what they do Stellar Blade 2, but they're going to put it on Xbox. They're not taking the money hat money no more. Oh dear. And we already know that Crimson Desert, the developers of Pearl Abyss, they rejected the money from PlayStation, and they also are on Xbox, and they're doing well because of it. They passed 3 million copies, I think, while Marathon is still on 1.4. Right? And then they had the games that PlayStation guys bragged about. These games are never coming to Xbox. Never say never. You don't know what these companies are going to be doing. The plan, what the Master Chief says, the plans change. They always do. Right? They said these games are never coming to Xbox, and look at that. In the recent, I almost said State of Play. Sorry, not that garbage. What was it? Partner preview for Xbox. Wolverine Waves, Dispatch, and Hades 2. You guys call it Hades. Hades 2, all coming to Xbox. I thought they would never come to Xbox, PlayStation, guys. That's what y'all said, because y'all are in the boardroom, right? Y'all are there when they're making decisions, aren't you? No, you're not. Shut the frick up. You internet guys. So they're all coming to Xbox. So the games that did temporarily skip Xbox, they're coming over here. Remember, Genshin Impact came to Xbox. Zoneless Zen, what was it called? Zenless Zone, something like that. That came to Xbox. These things are there, man. It's like, let's stop it. And in terms of that, Xbox is more talked about than PlayStation for obvious reasons. I mean, that report that they did, and I debunked it, but they said that the most talked about was Nintendo, and the second was Xbox. PlayStation was not up there, and I debunked that because I showed that Xbox has been talked about way more. I mean, every time Xbox releases a game, Xbox gets talked about, and since they're releasing more games than Nintendo, there's more talking about with Xbox than Nintendo for that alone. And then Xbox had more shows than Nintendo. Xbox was releasing more hardware stuff than Nintendo, so everybody was just talking about Xbox throughout the year, non-stop. They had Game Pass entries in January, like Eternal Strands. They had Valve was February. South of Midnight was April. Which got Doom the Dark Ages was May. Expedition 33 going into Game Pass, that was April. All throughout the year, from the silkiest song of Hollow Knight, I think that was June or July. If it's July, then Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers was June. And then, you had the Action of August. You also had Gears of War Reloaded, which also was on PlayStation. They were the top of Xbox all throughout the year. How they say Nintendo was the most talked about is just bullcrap. Nonsense. So Xbox is most talked about. Nobody's really talking about PlayStation like that because they're covering up their L's. Right? So even Xbox is being more talked about than y'all. Come on now. And then you got the next L's that came on. I told you, there's a lot of L's. Y'all thought we were done. I'm not joking. There's no way you can listen to all this stuff I'm bringing up, and then you still want to say PlayStation's on top, or PlayStation's number one, or the Xbox is behind them. You have to be a freaking moron. No Gordon Ramsay to, believe that PlayStation is at the top. You're not an idiot for still playing PlayStation. You're not an idiot for liking PlayStation, liking the game, liking the console. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying you're an idiot if you believe they're not last place. If you believe that they're above or ahead of Xbox, you're an idiot for that. So get it right. Next, we'll talk about how PlayStation's future even sucks. Because what's coming up? The Xbox Helix! The next-gen Xbox console, which you bums swore was not coming. It just shows you how stupid people are. You got Meth Cast guy or Dream Meth guy, the mutant, the meth head. This guy coming in talking about there's not going to be a next-gen Xbox. I put my flag in the sand right now. There won't be. I don't care what announcements they make. There is not going to be another next-gen. And what happened? We got a next-gen. And I knew it was coming. Do you know how we knew it was coming? Common sense. Back when she was president, Sarah Morgan said, we got a new console coming in. We done a deal with AMD. We're working on it right now. Oh, sorry, it has been worked on. The Magnus technology is coming. So the president of Xbox said the console was coming. Phil Spencer, CEO, even says, yeah, it's coming. The CEO of AMD, herself, was it her? It was a big lady of high rank from AMD. She was, and when I mean big as in authority, not fat, in authority. She even said, yes, our partnership with Microsoft, we're very proud of it. It is coming, ABC, right? So the CEO of AMD, the president of Xbox at the time, the CEO of Xbox at the time, all said it's coming. But some random PlayStation idiots who got to finish their graveyard shift at Taco Bell and then come online on the internet are saying it's not coming, and people believe them. The amount of people who were actually surprised that Xbox Next Gen console was coming, there's so many people who didn't even know about what was on the way. It's like they were ignorant of it. It's like, sucker, this wasn't some secret. It wasn't kept secret by President Trump and he now announced it in the middle of the war. No. People really believe these random unaccomplished idiots on the internet instead of established presidents and CEOs. It's just, I tell you, man, people are so stupid, bro. Oh, the Helix is superior to the PlayStation 6 in terms of pure stats. It's better. So is it better stats-wise? It's superior in terms of functions. It's features. The fact that it's going to have PC capabilities along with it being a console just completely makes it overshadow just straight up just regular console PlayStation 6. It obviously the PlayStation 6 will be superior to the 5 and Pro, hopefully. I mean, the Pro is supposed to be superior to the 5, but they've had some moments where it's kind of been really bad in performance, so I don't know what to say about that. But yeah, it's better than the 6. So the Helix is overshadowed the 6 already. There's more excitement and talk about the Helix than the 6, and the 6 is not coming for a while. And and because of that, their future, they're trapped. Microsoft played some chess with them, and they said checkmate. I already talked about this. The Helix alone traps PlayStation. Because now they need to make a move. Bust a move, Dan! They got to make a move. And remember, they have to decide, is PlayStation going to stay on PC? Or are they going to come off PC? And either way, they're screwed. This is the problem. Either way, they are hoed because of Xbox. Because think about it. Remember, the Helix is also going to be able to play the PC. So, if PlayStation has anything on the PC, like Steam and Epic Games, GOG and all that kind of stuff, through Xbox Helix, I mean, we already could do this with Xbox Handheld. My Xbox Handheld is right there. I'm holding it in my left hand right now. Obviously, you can't see this because this is a podcast. I'm holding my Xbox handheld console right here. I can access all those PlayStation games. And I can be able to do it when the Helix comes on a console format. And if we can play PlayStation games on a superior device than the PlayStation 6, what reason is there for a PlayStation 6? What reason is there? There's no reason to have it. Because all the games are going to be on PC. Why? Because that's where they make the most money. That's where they make the most money. Remember, Who was buying up and carrying Helldivers 2? PC. Who has bought the most by far? Nearly 3 times the amount of the PlayStation purchases of Marathon. PC. And it was shown that they made like approximately like 2.3 billion from putting games on PC and a few of them on Xbox. 2.3 billion. If they pull out a PC, they lose a whole lot of money. And you can't tell your investors you're saying no to money. Investors don't care about the console war. Investors don't care about how well you're doing. Investors care about making money from putting their money in you. And if it's that you're turning out money that you could have used to pay us for investing in you, frick no, we're leaving. So then if they leave, do they lose billions? So if they leave PC, they gotta face the investors, they're gonna lose billions, and they're gonna get way less console sales. But if they stay on PC, then there's no purpose for a PlayStation 6 because the Helix does it better. And none of their games are exclusive, so I can just play it on the Helix. I don't need a PlayStation 6. PC guys don't need a PlayStation 6. The only people going to buy the PlayStation 6 are hardcore PlayStation fans or collectors. That's it. That's it. There's no reason for PlayStation 6. None of their games are exclusive. And the Helix will perform it better with better systems, with better features, quick resume. Yeah, PlayStation is trapped. So even their future looks trash. They have to decide. I mean, if they're not going to have a PlayStation 6, they might as well just become a third-party publisher and completely bow out of the console war. Your plastic box got beat by my plastic box. Let me hit them with the sarcasm. Yeah, let me hit him with one of those, bro. Like, it's just, they're screwed. They're screwed either way. You stay in PC, you're screwed. You leave PC, you're screwed. And that's because their fanboys are not buying their games. PlayStation is real hot right now in the office. And then you want more else? GTA 6 is going to be best played on the Xbox. Xbox X has better performances overall than PlayStation 5 and PS5 Pro. And the Helix definitely beats everything PlayStation's got. It beats Nintendo. It beats majority of PCs. It's crazy what the Helix can do. And I already talked about Xbox versus PC and why Xbox wins. So you can go read about that and listen to those episodes. Go find out. Don't ask me no dumb questions. Don't be lazy. Go listen to the other stuff or read for yourself and catch up to my knowledge. Get there. Right? So GTA 6, remember, that's not going to be on PC. So the PC inferior race is not going to be on that. If they want to play GTA 6, they got to be on Xbox or PlayStation. And which one is doing better right now? Which one has the better hardware? Which one has the better subscription service? Which one has the better reward system? Which one has the better features? And which one's going to have the better console? The next thing that's going to be coming first is the Helix with the Xbox. So if they want it, Xbox. Only if you're on a PC, you had none of the consoles. You didn't have Xbox or PlayStation. You have to be foolish to pick a PlayStation. You'd have to be foolish. It means you're not thinking, bro. So, yeah, PlayStation screwed. So GTA 6 is going to be an Xbox. And speaking of GTA 6, even PlayStation's big game for this year, their biggest one, Wolverine. It's just going to get overshadowed by GTA 6. Think about it. GTA 6 is going to be big. It's going to be massive. It's going to be detailed. There's going to be a lot you're going to be able to do. You see how big and what's going on with Starfield, how big and lots going on with Crimson Dead. Obviously, GTA 6 is going to be nowhere near as big as Starfield, but I'm just saying, in terms of size, it's one of those games where you want to sit down and do a 6-hour session with that game. You want to explore, try this, do this mission quest, see what you can get away with, how you can interact with the NPCs, what you can and can't do. Looking for maybe secret vehicles, that's like special vehicles stored around the city, lock set weapons, Easter eggs, drown in the sea. Everybody wants to go into a plane, reach the maximum height, jump out, and then just hit the ground. For some reason, they're obsessed with that. Right? Try and land in the pool challenge. Just saying. Just saying. And speaking of GTA, what about the weird GTA logic? How you could be underwater in a pool and you're perfectly fine, but the moment you walk underwater on some outside water, you drown. I don't know. Crash Bandicoot logic. And what is going on, and since Xbox will have the best console and the best performance, what if Xbox starts to replace PlayStation on the ground? You know how events like gaming tournaments like Evo for like Street Fighter, all that kind of stuff, they're using PlayStation 5s and stuff. What if they're like, hey, let's try the Xbox Helix instead? What if PlayStation gets replaced by Xbox at Evo and these other places. Yeah, you say they got the agreement stuff. I was like, but what if this want to be an exit? What if some plans change? What if they want to make a different move? I'm just saying, because the Helix is obviously going to be better than the PS5 Pro. And pro players who complain about connections and lag and stuff, they want the best possible experience and smoothness. So even they would vouch for a better machine, the Xbox Helix. And we already know that game developers, they're already like making their games and stuff for Xbox. I mean, Xbox has the cheaper dev kit. You got the Xbox ID system that they got going, like a program that they have going on. But now, Xbox developers, and we talked about the games that are skipping PlayStation and gone to Xbox, you know, like Mecha Break and Super Bowl and stuff like that. But now, with the Helix coming in with its unified GDK, because you know how there's Windows and doing game development, there's the SDK. I talked about that in the previous podcast episode, so you can listen to that yourself. It's developer stuff. Development for the Xbox is going to be easier than development for the PlayStation, because then you could knock out PC and Xbox development at the same time. Whereas the PlayStation, you still got to do them separately. SDK is not the same as like PlayStation's dev kit targeting. So more and more developers are going to be prioritizing Xbox more so, or preferring Xbox more so over PlayStation. They designed the Helix with the game developers in mind as well. So more preference is going to be going towards Xbox. And literally, there's nothing they can do about it. Think about it. PlayStation's so trapped, there's absolutely nothing they can do about it. And I mean nothing. Because think about it. Xbox has PlayStation beat in everything. Except for two things, but everything. Resources, money. Xbox wins. Number of developers, Xbox wins. Hardware, Xbox wins. Cloud gaming market ownership, Xbox wins. Because remember, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago? Even before ABK, Xbox owned 60 to 70% of the cloud gaming market. That's the majority. That means PlayStation will always have less than them. And Microsoft only increased their hold on it. So you can argue it's a 70% minimum now, which means PlayStation and Nintendo has to share the remaining 30%. So PlayStation doesn't even have 30%. You can't win. Let's see. Software, Xbox wins. Backwards compatibility, Xbox wins. Subscription service, I think we can all agree Xbox Game Pass is far superior to PlayStation Plus. Just the fact that we get first party games in the Game Pass alone is crazy. And we saw 14 out of the 19 partner preview games is all coming to Game Pass, including Hades 2. Hades 2. Isn't that crazy? Wuthering Waves. More loaded. Let me just lick the honey off. Woo! Sorry. There's nothing you can do about a subscription service. Xbox wins. And AI, Xbox wins. I'm not interested in all you AI haters. Go somewhere else. Shut up. I had enough of y'all whining. AI is here whether you like it or not. The government is using it. Companies are using it. Your workplaces are using it. It is here whether you like it or not. Get with it or fall behind. You have to make that decision. And obviously, there's some areas where I hate AI to be in, to grow prevalence in, because it'll be dangerous and bad. And in some areas where AI is actually very useful. Just deal with it. Crying about AI in time is not going to stop it. You're not anybody for now to do anything about it. So, in all these areas, Xbox beats PlayStation. So how does PlayStation beat Xbox? They can't. They can't. They reduce the money handing and relying on giving me outlets and paying people to be their pay pigs to talk goodness. Because they can't win. That's why they want to win by public perception. And I'm not going to lie. The average public perception, they think Xbox is dead and doing bad. They didn't think they was getting a console. They got no games, no exclusive. All these lies. And they think PlayStation is so glorious and doing so great. I think the only time they'll learn the truth is when PlayStation shuts down. Oh, so Xbox is winning all this time? Oh, good to know. Like, that's it. So perception, public perception, fine. They're winning. But even that is changing. Even that's changing. More people are catching on. And even AI, speaking of AI, Xbox with Copilot. It's a better gaming experience. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I tested it. I did gaming with my Copilot. So I used the app, Xbox app, and Copilot's in there. And I talked to the AI. I gave her a name. And I was speaking to her about Crimson Desert. Asked her some questions as I was playing. And she was just giving me tips, answers, accurate answers, by the way. And stuff that was actually helping out with the game. And I was like, gaming with Copilot is better than gaming without Copilot. And it's optional. You can choose not to use it. Same with NVIDIA DLSS5. You can just choose not to use it. What are you mad about? If you don't want to use Copilot, you don't have to. But the Copilot can help you. You trying to find this thing or where to find this stuff in Minecraft? You trying to do this stuff? Just ask Copilot while you're playing because of audio, so you can just speak to it, giving you these answers. PlayStation is not got it like that. So Xbox again is ahead. And now for the latest news. I know we're like 1 hour in. Do you know how many L's they have? But we're 1 hour in. PlayStation is dead. Let's get to the latest news. They raised the prices of their consoles and hardware again. Again. That's more than Xbox number of times that Xbox has done it. Remember, they've closed more studios than Xbox. They've canceled more games than Xbox. They've had more layoffs than Xbox. And they're raising their prices more than Xbox. Okay. Woohoo. They're raising it again. There's even talks of PlayStation Plus going to be going up as well because they have to compensate for the lack of sales and the lack of things and lack of live service games and stuff going on. So they want to keep things going. They do it on purpose. But PlayStation guys will buy it regardless. This is crazy. And even the PlayStation fanboys have gone quiet online. A lot of these dudes just disappeared. Xbox guys are making fun of them, saying, put up wanted posters. Have you seen this man? Is he okay? They've gone quiet. Some of them have actually crashed out. Zubitech, look it up. I even retweeted both Zubitech and Nib. They, two PlayStation dick wankers, they literally crashed out. You know when you're yelling, you fling your arms everywhere. You're like, I don't care about me. I don't care about nobody else. Like they've crashed out on X, Twitter. They crashed out. They typed freaking full paragraph. They put more work into this crash out string of tweets, and sometimes it's one whole paragraph keep going. Then they put work into their assessments back when they were in university. That's what their failures, and they just do play social media instead of play games. It was so much tweets. Zubitech just, that boy, he is hurting. He is hurting. His eyes are red. Nib is just looking like a moron, and everyone's just laughing at him. He crashed out, man. For real. People are losing their minds over this. They're losing sleep. They refuse to go to bed with their wife. They kick the family dog when the dog's done nothing to him. The mailman's like, here's your mail, sir. They snatch it from the mailman, and the mailman's like, bitch. Like, they're just taking it out on everybody. They're crashing out. So they're either silent, disappeared, dead like PlayStation, or they're crashing out. There's no in between. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. Now, let's talk about the one thing that PlayStation, the two things that PlayStation does have going for them. One is they have the Pioneer bonus. What does that mean? They were there first. In the same way like how that streamer Pokimane, she has the Pioneer bonus when it comes to female streamers. She may not have been the very, very first, but she's like the first one who got some form of renown. And because she was first, all the guys checked her out. I know, gooners, simps, they all just checked her out, right? And then when the other female ones showed up later on, most stayed with Pokey, some went with Pokey and the new ones, and some left Pokey for the new ones. Because she was there first, though, she got the bulk of the audience. That's why she's the biggest. She hasn't got the best commentary. She's not the best gamer, definitely not, right? I'm better than her in both those categories, commentary and gaming, right? But because she was first, is that, you know, she got that earlier sub. It's like the earlier people of YouTube, like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye and stuff like that. Them being first helped out a ton. It doesn't guarantee you're going to be big and successful, but it's a big factor. Now think about it. If Markiplier and Pokemon started their channel, they don't know them. They don't have their name. So Markiplier is now Subtracticator. I don't know. Dividerplier, whatever, right? And Pokemon is Digimane. We don't know them. This is their first time showing up, and they popped up with their channel doing what they did. They would not catch on or be as big as they are now. We just know that for a fact. So Pioneer bonus being first does help. PlayStation has Pioneer bonus. They were there before Xbox, so they get the main bulk of the players. Xbox had to get remainders and try and take some from PlayStation. So PlayStation was always bigger in that regards because of that. They were there first. That's the main factor, right? So the Pioneer bonus. And the second advantage that a PlayStation has is, again, what they love to bring up, console sales. Yeah, they've sold more consoles than Xbox. It's basically 2-1. We saw the numbers being revealed by Take-Two and stuff like that, and it was basically 2-1, which is good. They're winning. Yeah, they can put that medal on the wall. 100%. Like we can't hold them off of that. That's good. You want numbers like that, right? That's crazy. But there's one problem now. We've already proven that 92 million shipped consoles is not helping them with Astro Bot, their games failing, and lack of purchasing and stuff like that. They just play Xbox games like Call of Duty instead. But remember what the CFO, the Certified Flying Object, I'm joking, the Chief Financial Officer, Tao Lin, and not Tao Lin of the Tao Empire from Warhammer. No. Tao Lin. She stated that their new focus is not hardware sales. The new focus, what they're going to be pushing for, is active users. So console sales is all good and great, and you should always be pushing for that. But the new focus, what really matters now, because they've seen the pattern of modern gaming, active users is more important than hardware sales and like that install base. It's active users. And this isn't something crazy. We've seen this with other industries. People already talk about album sales right now. It's about album streams, downloads, track downloads and streaming and stuff like that. The people looking at streams and downloads now, not necessarily sales. The sales will always matter. But where's the focus? What's being highlighted now? That's changed. It's active users. Who was the active users before PlayStation? Xbox is ahead of the game once again. And when it comes to active users, Xbox is beating PlayStation nearly 5-1. So PlayStation's the console sales of 2-1. Xbox is winning active users, which matter now on the modern gaming, nearly 5-1. I don't want to hear, it doesn't come directly from the console. It doesn't matter. They're an ecosystem. It'll come from anywhere. Because remember, this is an Xbox, this is an Xbox, this is an Xbox. As long as they got you in the ecosystem and they're getting your money, you count. That's the plan. They've cast the net wide and they brought in people. It worked. They're changing things now, but it worked in that regards. So that's there. So don't listen to what these dumb streamers and YouTubers are saying. They don't know what they're talking about. Those are the facts. Now, you can't dispute what I'm saying here in this episode. You can't. Because everything I said is factual. It's been retweeted hundreds and thousands of times. The stuff are all up there for you to be able to see. The reports were there. Even in some like professional settings when they try to put that case before the FTC and stuff like that to stop Xbox from getting ABK. Jim Ryan presented some of these things. He even said if Xbox acquires ABK, like as in getting Call of Duty, PlayStation's business model will not survive. Jim Ryan knew it. He collected his check and bounced. He said, yep, I know where PlayStation's going. Let me just collect my CEO money and go on his hoe. And he knew it. He knew PlayStation was in trouble. He gone. I'm just saying, these are things that everybody that spoke about in this episode is factual. So you can't dispute it. You can't. Tao Lin did say that herself. And she's not some random idiot on social media with some retards following them so they have their own echo chamber. She's the big lady in the office. CFO. Come on. Let's keep it a buck. So when you've listened to this entire thing, if you listen to this for like 1 hour plus like you did right here, I've got big respect for you. Hey, let me know if you did listen to the whole thing. And if I do turn this into video, let me know if you watched the whole thing. Let me know, out of all the things we listed, which one was the biggest L of PlayStation? Some might say it's Concord. Some might say it's Concord. I mean, and like some will say it's others. And you know what the funny thing is? I still haven't mentioned everything. I just remembered it now. Thank you, Holy Ghost, for reminding me. I just remembered the PS Portal is not doing very well. That's not doing very well. And the PSVR 2, they abandoned that. So not only that, they got PSVR 2s rotting in warehouses collecting dust. They got PlayStation Portals that's not even being utilized because, again, thanks to Xbox Play Anywhere and smart delivery, thanks to like this is an Xbox with an ecosystem, the Xbox ROG Ally and Xbox ROG Ally X is far superior to the PlayStation Portal. It is. It just is. Oh my gosh! It's 10 out of 10 device. It was on Times Magazine as Invention of the Year for a reason. It's so much better. The PS Portal is not doing as well. PlayStation Plus is not doing as well, and the PSVR 2. Those are things I did not mention. With PSVR 2, that's a fail. That's also an L. And the PlayStation Portal overall is also an L. The PlayStation Portal is doing better than VR 2, but it's still an L. Took it a sip. Like I said. In previous podcast episodes, I did talk about the PSVR 2 and stuff like that. So you would have learned about it if you looked at the previous episodes. But I'm just saying, like, there's just so many L's for PlayStation that we could talk about it for over an hour. How can you listen to this and still say PlayStation's number one, PlayStation's on top of the world, PlayStation's fine, you're just a hater, you're just stupid? I'm clearly not. I'm a game developer myself. Right? I've done the stuff myself. I'm smart. It's just like, there's no way you can defend it. You got fanboys like Maximilian Dude and stuff who downplay Xbox's shows and upplay PlayStation stuff. It's all crumbling. We know these people being paid by PlayStation, bro. We know PlayStation shutting down studios. We know PlayStation raising their prices. We know PlayStation losing deals. People are rejecting their money hatting. Square Enix said exclusivity doesn't work with them. Shift Up says we're putting Stellar Blade 2 on Xbox. You know, like games that skipped Xbox coming back to Xbox. Xbox has been having all of these shows. I mean, in 2025 they had was it 2 partner previews, 1 game developer direct, a gaming showcase, and 2 Tokyo shows and stuff like that. It was 6 or 5 shows in 1 year. And they released 2 hardwares, the VR and the handheld, and brought out 13 first-party games and continues to load up the Game Pass. What's PlayStation doing? Shutting down studios and raising their prices, bringing out 1 game and a remaster, and that's it. Come on, y'all. PlayStation is dead. I'm going to title this, you're witnessing the death of PlayStation, but the truth is, they're already dead. And they still need to make the decision. Are they pulling out from PC or are they staying? And either way, they are done. So yeah, I want to hear from y'all. This is already long enough. I got things I need to do. I put aside time for this because I knew this was going to be long. And with the new things going on with Asher Sharma, I really hope they do this. But I hope they take Fable away from PlayStation. PlayStation does not deserve it. I mean, if Xbox, because Xbox was carrying PlayStation. If Xbox did not put all those games that they own on PlayStation, PlayStation will have way less. And by the way, yes, Gears of E-Day is not going to be on PlayStation. It's not. I can tell you that right now. It's not going to be on PlayStation. So you can remember me for this as well. But I'm going to leave it there, you guys. You guys have an awesome day. Don't take things too seriously, but we are talking about the truth here. Have an awesome day, guys. And regardless of what's going on, make sure to do the Earthwalk. And I'll see you guys around.